there, welcome back to Headbangers Ball. We're out on the road once again, clocking up those miles to bring you all the action from some of the best tours around the globe. And of course we will be returning to Max & Co. very shortly. They'll be interviewing Obituary a bit later on. But my duty today is to hook up with Rollins band, and Henry Rollins of course has joined me now. We're going to talk about Rollins' new album, Wait. So Henry, you're no stranger to travelling yourself. How are you doing today here in Berlin?
Fine, business as usual.
Now, since the release of Wait, you have been literally out on the road the whole time pretty much, and I was just wondering, have you visited some countries that you hadn't played before on this tour? What have you kind of broken any new ground with Rollins band?
Oh yeah, we played Brazil this year, which was a first for us, which was really cool. It was a much different place than I'd ever been to. I mean, America is a very dangerous place, but Brazil, as far as like danger factors, got it beat. We saw a dead kid in a plastic bag by the side of the road. Someone died at the show. It was a very big festival. We were one of several bands on the bill, but it's just an intense place. I mean, very passionate people, you know. You could get in a lot of trouble real fast for no reason there, it seems. It was wild.
Wow, that sounds like even more of a culture shock than going down the east side of LA or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've been all over LA. Well, not to some parts of it, but yeah, it was just wild, man. Because life is just interesting being in a place where life isn't so valued as, you know, where you live, where life is at a premium. You down in a territory like, you know, Rio or something, it's just a different value, and it's just wild checking that out for a few days. I don't think I could live there.
No, definitely not. Now, Rollins band has toured with so many different genres of bands, and today obviously we see you with Obituary and Sepultura. Does it keep it interesting and challenging to you to play with lots of different bands and also to kind of confront their audiences as well?
Yeah. Unfortunately for us, well, maybe fortunately, we're not a band that's very easily classified. So we, if we don't do our own show, we can hop in on other people's trips. Like, you know, we did the rap thing in '92 with Cypress Hill and the Beastie Boys, and that was a bunch of 15-year-old kids going, "Get out of here!" And so for the next 3 nights, we're doing the metal experiment. And I've never heard any of this music. I mean, I don't really follow metal at all. No offense. So they said, "You want to do these dates with Obituary and Sepultura?" We're like, "Yeah, sure, man." Okay. Yeah, we'll check out what these metal guys are doing. So we're doing the metal experiment for the next 3 days, and then we're back off doing some festivals and stuff. So what the heck, you know?
It should be interesting. We'll see a little bit of Rollins live a little bit later on in the show, of course. Now, you yourself, you have a very wide taste in music there. I know that you like kind of everything from kind of Thin Lizzy to Iggy Pop, Stooges, that kind of thing.
To Bartok, Beethoven, Miles Davis, Olatunji. Yes, all kinds of
very
stuff.
Broad-minded.
Sure.
Now, you've got Melvin Gibbs in the band, and he's actually the first lineup change the only lineup change you had since Rollins band formed in '87. I think I'm right in saying. Now, tell us a little bit, what has Melvin brought to the band? What qualities has he brought to Rollins band?
Well, Melvin comes from the jazz and avant world, you know. He didn't grow up with like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and, you know, that white hard rock like we all did, but not. The guys in my band don't really listen to that kind of music, although you play them Led Zeppelin, they can tell you what record it's off of, just because they, you know, you're just kind of imbued with it, you know, growing up. It's almost a rite of passage, and you know, Melvin never even heard the Stooges when I first met him. I go, "Hey, you know, what's your favorite Stooges record?" He goes, "I don't know, man, hook me up with a tape." So I made him a tape of Funhouse, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, it's pretty wild." Like, Melvin, that's Iggy Pop. I mean, this is like, you know, textbook. And, you know, he came up with like James Brown and Miles Davis and George Clinton and a lot of the avant New York scene. He was in Defunct. He's played with the World Saxophone Quartet, Ornette Coleman. Yeah, so he's coming from a whole different thing. So it makes our trip very different, because his version of heavy isn't heavy what might this audience that we're going to see tonight might think is heavy. He goes for more heavy that you know, strange diminished chords and, you know, minor chords and stuff that's really intense in a whole different way. So it's wild working with a guy who doesn't have any records that you have outside of, like, you know, some jazz stuff. So it's very cool.
I'm sure he's inspired you as well with some of his own personal favorites.
Oh, big time. Yeah, he's turned me on to a lot of stuff, and it's just great being in the band with this guy because he's, besides the music part, he's such a great person. He's such an awesome mind. He's a heavy thinker, and he's just a great guy to be around. We are having a very good time.
Brilliant. Well, we're going into the video for Liar now, and as you know, this has gone down very well on MTV in America and MTV Europe. And interesting video because it incorporates humour, aggression, thoughtfulness, and I'm just wondering if that's kind of showing a few sides to yourself in that video.
Oh yeah, I mean, this sounds extremely pretentious, but I scripted that thing out to be kind of like a miniature Kurosawa film, the great Japanese director. And what Kurosawa did in a lot of his films, this sounds so pretentious, he just always had good guys and bad guys in all of his films. And at the end of the movie, the good guys were bad, the bad guys were worse, and you realize humans are all pretty bad. And that's what I tried to do with the Liar video. You got the straight cop, the straight nun, the Superman guy, and at the end of the video, they're all bad guys. You know, there's Henry Rollins in there, supposed to be this honest guy, and at the end, even he's like, you know, he's bad too. So I just tried to show these icons of truth and trust and mess them up and humanize them. And so that was the gig. And yeah, it's supposed to be funny and it's supposed to be a little ugly, and it's obviously designed to get in your face too, you know.
Well, we never tire of seeing this video on Headbangers Ball. It's gone down really, really well. We're going to show it to you again right now. We're going to talk to Rollins some more in just a moment. But first up, here's the video for Liar. Headbangers Ball coming to you from the Sepultura show in Berlin, Germany, working our way up the bill, and we're still talking to Henry Rollins about the new album, Wait. Now Henry, it's been well documented that you recorded the new album in a cabin in the Nevada mountains, and I was just wondering if that was something specific to where your head was at for Wait, or if it's something that you'd like to do again in the future.
Yeah, we'd like to do it every time, actually. The reason we didn't choose the place because it was in the mountains. We chose the place because it had a lot of room. If it was in Miami, we would have gone there. It's just that the guy who helped us find the place said, I got a place. It's up in the mountains in the California, Nevada area. You want to check it out? So we flew our sound man out. He went around and went, yeah, there's room. So we flew in and did it there. The main reason why we went to this place was to get out of the studio situation, which is boring, sterile, and not like when you go into a studio, it's all set up for you to do stuff. It's kind of like, okay, time to work now, time to, like, you better be good now, which is a drag, you know, because music is kind of, it should happen when you're ready for it to happen, you know. Hopefully at 8 o'clock when you go on at a gig it happens, but in the studio it becomes so much work so quickly, it's no fun anymore. If you're going to spend 6 weeks in a place, why make 6 weeks into a drag? Because the music will just, you know, show you out. You know, it'll tattletale on you. So we just tried to make the place really a cool vibe. And so the vibe in this place was wake up, eat breakfast, hang out, eat lunch, hang out, walk down the hall to the studio, not get in the van, go to the salt mines. And so we would play from like 3 in the afternoon till 3 in the morning. And we knocked out 2 albums worth of stuff in 4 weeks. We have a whole nother album in the can sitting, and a bunch of B-sides and all this stuff. And it was really fun. I've never been in an environment where it wasn't so like, hurry! You know, it was like, well, let's just get this how we wanted it to hear. You know, Liar took 3 days. Wow. You know, we just played it, this doesn't sound good, let's just go to another song till we feel like doing this. And it costs the same amount as going to a studio. So it was very cool. Very cool to do.
Now you've also made an appearance in the movie The Chase with Charlie Sheen, which I happened to see on the aeroplane over to the States last week. Oh, yeah. I was wondering how did that come about, and what kind of it did you find that an interesting experience as well?
Sure. Well, I get a lot of movie scripts sent to me. I got an agent in the whole 9 yards, and so I got sent that script. I read it. I thought it was funny. Met the director and the producer. I liked them. And I screen tested for the parks. I figured it would be, you know, a funny thing. I could pull it off. I made it, got the job, And it was fine, you know. Christy Swanson was cool to me. Charlie was real professional. The best part of it was my partner, the cop next to me, was a guy named Josh Mostel, whose father was Zero Mostel, really famous comedian. And Josh is just, you know, a laugh a minute. He's just a really sweet guy. We had a great time. I just finished another movie in April called Johnny Mnemonic, and that's with Keanu Reeves and Dolph Lundgren and Ice-T. And I saved Keanu, but I get killed by Dolph. I spent 2 days getting beat up by Dolph Lundgren. He gave me a black eye. He didn't mean to, though. I punched high, he blocked low, and bam! I'm like, ah! And he went, don't worry, you're tough. I'm like, thank you, Dolph. I mean, the guy is so big. He picked me up like a bag of groceries, just throwing me around. But it was fun. The movie thing is, it's a lot the same as all of this in that it's discipline, truth, and applying yourself. The only drag is, you know, on take 20 at 3 in the morning when everything is very funny and you're giggly, you got to get it right so you can go home. And, you know, there's like thousands of dollars a minute going by, so you got to get it right. And it would be like 3 in the morning, we'd be doing Keanu's close-up shot, which means it's over my shoulder. So Keanu's giving me this intense line like, all I know is they want to cut my head off. And I'm standing from like, trying not to explode in laughter, because at 3 in the morning, everything's funny. You know, you're gonna die. Ah! And so we would do these takes. I'm like, they go like, cut. We're both like, ah! Okay, we can go home now. And that was the hardest part. Otherwise, it was a blast.
Great. Okay. Well, talking of movies, The Crow movie is out at the moment. Very successful soundtrack, US #1 album in the States. And in fact, the next video we're going into comes from The Crow. And I'm sure Henry will approve of this because it's a fellow band from New York City. This is Helmet with their contribution to The Crow movie soundtrack, Milquetoast. We have a few more moments to talk to Henry Rollins here in Berlin on the Sepultura tour. And Henry, we were talking earlier about the movie The Chase. You have this movie career, you do the spoken word performances, and of course the band as well. Now, that must keep you busy all of the time. Are you the kind of person that doesn't like to be sitting around with too much time to think?
True, yeah. I got more going on than that, but it's boring. Yeah, I work 7 days a week. In fact, in about 45 minutes, I got a meeting with a guy right here in this parking lot trying to license a record from his company. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff lately, and yeah, it keeps me busy and on the fax and phone 7 days a week, no matter what country I'm in. I got a staff of about 5 people in LA who I work with.
You also obviously work out and keep very fit as well, which must be very helpful for when you're on tour and also when you are so busy.
Yep, yeah, it's good stress relief, yeah.
Now, you mentioned there that you've got this whole new set of material to come out. When's that going to see the light of day?
Good question. And maybe when this album starts petering out, we'll release the next one. We're not in a hurry. It's cool. It's sitting in the can whenever.
I mean, with all these different activities that you're involved in, do you ever feel that you're spreading yourself a little bit thin, or do you feel? Yeah. But also, I'm sure it must be inspirational. There must be a knock-on effect of inspiration to all the different things that you're doing to keep you interested.
People I get to work with. When I get these opportunities, I can't say no. So if it means losing more sleep and like working through Sunday till 4 in the morning. I mean, I publish Iggy Pop in America. I publish Nick Cave. How can I say no to this kind of opportunity to work with Iggy? I mean, that's just too cool. So when he calls up and says, hey, you want to publish my book? I'm like, I want to do that so much, I'll trade my rear molars to do that. So, you know, you just do it. And what you need is just an excellent staff of people, rocking Macintosh computers, fast fax modems, and a lot of inspiration. So, you know, I'm working with people I really respect. I'm working with jazz musicians whose music I'm totally into. I'm working with some of my heroes and authors I really respect, who I've grown up reading, and now I publish them. You know, so this to me is awesome.
Very satisfying.
Totally, yeah.
Now, how much can music, the actual Rollins band, be part of the long-term future for you?
I feel like doing a few more records, 1 to 3 more with the band, and then I think I'm out. Because, I don't know, I like playing music. I mean, nothing else I'd rather do right now. But music has changed so much. I don't feel, I feel very lonely out here in the music world these days. You know, I've been playing with all these bands, you know, lately, Green Day, Beck, Yeah, well, they're nice people, I'm sure, but I thought the music was just horrid. You know, weak. You know, I heard it before. I saw Green Day. I went, oh, yeah, the Dickies. I remember them. You know, but when you see these, like, little punk rock surfer guys slouching, I don't know. I just feel like my kind of music's over with. You know, people can't take the heavy stuff anymore, so maybe it's time to go do something else.
Well, the immediate future is a tour with Helmet, who we saw earlier on video, and that's going to be a co-headlining situation.
In America in August, July and August. Yeah,
full production.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good guys, good double bill. Les Claypool is bringing his original version of Primus called Sausage on tour to open. So it's going to be a great bill. We're sure a lot of people will show up. It'll be fun, man. And the Helmet guys are very cool, and, you know, Les is cool, and it'll be a lot of good music, you know, good time.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. Thank you very much for joining us on Headbangers Ball. It's a very great pleasure to meet you, Henry. Very nice to see you. And we have to go into another short break right now. Taking us into that break, we're going to show you a little bit of Rollins live on stage here at the Eissporthalle in Berlin. And then after the break, slight change of location, because you're going to be seeing me in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, and I'm going to be bringing you a tour report on Cannibal Corpse. I'll be talking to the guys about their new album, The Bleeding, and we'll see how Las Vegas takes to Cannibal Corpse right after this break. Taking us into the break, as I said, here's Henry Rollins and his band live on stage in Berlin.
I should have seen my end coming from a long way off. My best man, don't give me up so bad. Don't damn God. So I went right ahead and told myself about my life. It's been late after hammer. I'm a fool, I keep believing. I'm a fool, I believe it all. I'm a fool who'll keep on crawling. And like a fool, I will fall.